Hello, I'm Jeff Paur, senior writer with RealTime Fantasy Sports, and welcome to another edition of the RealTime Fantasy Sports Show. On today's show, I'm going to give you 5 of my favorite waiver wire pickups for week 4 of the fantasy football season. I hope you had a lot of success in week 3. Certainly an interesting week of games. Kind of a bit of a bizarro week with a lot of top players not performing very well, but the top players from the week were guys that weren't started on a lot of teams. So kind of an interesting week, but hopefully you came out on top. And I hope you have a lot of success navigating these waiver wires this week. I think there's a couple guys out there that could help fantasy teams. And one of the guys was a guy who actually was a waiver wire pickup for some last week, but he's still available in a lot of leagues. And that's my first pickup for the week. It's Jawan Jennings, receiver with the San Francisco 49ers. He's owned on 36.1% of leagues on our site. So he's still out there in quite a few. He had that huge game last week, caught 11 passes for 175 yards and 3 touchdowns. As long as Deebo Samuel and George Kittle are out, Jennings has some good fantasy potential in this offense. He makes plays with his chances. He's done it in the past as well. I think Kittle could come back this week, which could cloud things a little bit for Jennings, but it looks like Samuel's going to miss another week or two. So that's good news for Jennings. If he's out there, you need receiver help, I'd go grab him. Another one of my pickups this week is a guy that got a chance to start last week once again, and that's Andy Dalton with the Carolina Panthers. He's owned on just 12.4% of leagues on our site, but he clearly was a huge spark for that Panthers offense last week. He threw for 319 yards and 3 touchdowns without a turnover. The Panthers have some talent at receiver. They have Deontay Johnson, Jonathan Mingo, Adam Thielen. I know he's banged up right now, but Chuba Hubbard's there as well. So this offense has some potential, especially with Dave Canales at the helm. Very good offensive mind, their head coach. And I think Dalton could have some big games like this again going forward. He's not going to be an every week play, but a good spot starter for fantasy teams as long as he's in the lineup. Another one of my pickups is more of a speculative ad, and that's Rashawn Johnson with the Chicago Bears, owned on about 13.6% of leagues on our site. But DeAndre Swift has done next to nothing this year. So I think Johnson might be getting some more looks, especially after last week looked pretty good. He had 12 total touches for 62 yards. I think he's a good speculative ad with Swift struggling. I know they paid him a lot to come in there. Their offensive line's not very good, but Johnson made plays last week, and he might get some more play going forward, and I like him as a speculative pickup, especially if you're in a deeper league. My next pickup is another Chicago Bear, and this was a guy that actually was dropped in some leagues because of a slow start, and that's Cole Kmet. He's available in roughly half the leagues on our site, 53.2% owned, but he had a breakout game last week, 10 receptions for 97 yards and a touchdown, caught just a pass in the opener, so a lot of people dropped him, were disappointed by a slow start, but Caleb Williams looks like he's getting more comfortable. Bears throwing the ball a ton because they can't run it right now. I think that bodes well for Kmet going forward. If you're in one of those leagues that happen to drop Kmet, we know this tight end position has been a disaster this year. I'd go grab him. I think he has some potential going forward. And my last pickup for week 4 is Calvin Austin, the receiver with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He really got some preseason love this year, but he started slow, had just a catch each of the first 2 games. So a lot of people are down on him, but he looked great last week. He got his most playing time of the season. Played 54% of the snaps. Van Jefferson had been playing more of an expanded role. He saw his playing time dip. Austin saw his rise. Jefferson's been struggling as well. So I think this could be a trend going forward. Austin could be more of the number 2 receiver in this offense. He caught 4 passes for 95 yards and a touchdown last week. I think there could be a bit of a change of the guard at receiver in Pittsburgh when it comes to those starting receivers alongside of George Pickens. All right, those are my 5 waiver wire pickups for this week. I hope you have a lot of success navigating those waiver wires and you win all those week 4 fantasy games. This has been Jeff Paur with RealTime Fantasy Sports. Have a great day.